Hi everybody and welcome back to the Upside Down. I got to see Joker Folie at an early IMAX screening and I'm here to give you my spoiler-free thoughts on the film. This is a spoiler-free review, so don't worry, no spoilers here. Before I get started, I've had some audio issues the past couple days. I've actually filmed this 3 times, and I think my second time would have been a really good review, so I'm going to try to say the same things anyway, but I don't know, it might not be that good. So I do have a new mic. I didn't realize it was this short of a wire, so I'm kind of just wearing it right here. You can actually see it, which I think is fine. I don't know. Before I get started, though, my 4DX reviews will come soon. I've only seen it in IMAX so far at the recording of this video. I will see it in 4DX and get my short and long form review out. I love the first Joker. 9 out of 10 film for me. I was excited for this one, but I wasn't like super excited actually. I actually championed that it was going to be a musical. I like musicals. I actually defended their choice. I think it makes sense within the confines of these characters. Joker and Harley Quinn in general, really theatrical. While I wasn't in love with the idea, I still was defending it. I did appreciate the boldness of that decision. So let me get to my positives. The cinematography is spectacular. There are some really great visuals here. It carries on from the first film pretty much. They did a really good job making Gotham seem like this rainy, grimy kind of place, especially with the focus on Arkham. That kind of expanded the world of Gotham for this universe. I liked the makeup and the hairstyling and the costumes. Those were all handled very well. The film is shot well. It's directed well. For the most part, I'll get to some of that later on. I think that Todd Phillips is a really talented filmmaker. I think he's creative. The team behind this did a really great job on the film. Just visual-wise, filmmaking-wise. Hildur Gudnadóttir returns as the composer here, and she definitely crafts a really great score yet again. I don't think it's as memorable as the first Joker. This one had a lot more musical elements to it, more soundtrack stuff. The score was pretty spectacular. I think that Hildur is a really great composer. And then another really good aspect are the performances. I would say especially Joaquin Phoenix. I do not think he's as good in this one as he was in the first one though, but I do think that he, for the most part, steps right back into the role. Joaquin Phoenix is a great actor. Even if I am mad at him for dropping out of that Todd Haynes film 5 days before they started filming, he brings most of that character from the first one into this one, but I don't think he's quite as strong. There's a few standout scenes where he really acts phenomenally. Lady Gaga is good. I will get more into her in my negatives, actually not because of Lady Gaga though, it's the writing more. I wasn't blown away by her. I do not think she has Oscar chances. Brendan Gleeson was really good. Catherine Keener was really good. And a couple returning characters had really good scenes. They were well acted. One of the returning characters on the witness stand, I don't want to spoil too much. Some of it was in clips and trailers. One of the returning characters was one of my favorite scenes, and this person's having like a back and forth with Arthur. I loved that scene. It is a fun scene at times. It's funny, but it's also uncomfortable. It was really one of the only times the emotion really sunk in with me. There's also opened with an animated scene. It was cool. It was WB. It kind of reminded me of like Looney Tunes. I thought it was well done. Fun way to start the film. Different. It fits the character. I think it was something that I never would have expected. IMAX, it was really good. I don't know if I have the best IMAX screen because I wasn't like blown away by IMAX here. I do think it looked really good on the screen, especially for a movie that doesn't have some sweeping action and epic scenes. Onto the negatives, I think there are way too many musical numbers in this. Way too many musical sequences, singing, dancing scenes, because they're not all musical numbers per se like you would expect from a musical. There's only a couple of those, and some of it is just them kind of awkwardly to me singing to each other and at each other, or they're just singing alone. Sometimes they're in the same room, sometimes it's through a camera lens or a TV or whatever. They were kind of awkward scenes and they weren't needed. I appreciate them doing something bold and new. I appreciate them swinging for the fences. I don't think it totally worked, and I like musicals. Lady Gaga's a fantastic singer. She has a really great voice. Joaquin Phoenix sounded really good as well. Those two are the ones that are mostly singing, and sometimes it is in their head, sometimes it's actually happening. It took away from the story, and it interrupted the story. It did not develop the story for the most part. It didn't move the story along. It was awkward, unneeded. The musical numbers were pointless. One thing I can say positively about the music numbers, why I understand them, because to these characters in the film, you know, Joker and Harley Quinn, music is how they met through some singing therapy. So music is very important, and it kind of makes them happy in this bubble. Music is important. Music can lift our spirits. I just didn't feel like the music was necessary or worked here at all. It was awkward. I rolled my eyes a couple times. They were just singing so much. It was taking away from the story. I wanted to see more of the courtroom stuff, more of the Arkham stuff without the music. I think this is a pointless sequel, an unnecessary sequel. Granted, you could say, is any movie necessary? This shouldn't have been made. I know it was made because the first one made a lot of money. The first one got Oscar nominations, and Joaquin Phoenix actually won. If you told me this was by an entirely different team, I would believe you. Some of Todd Phillips' style is definitely there. He's a good director, and he carries that onto here. here. The writing was a mess. It hardly went anywhere. There wasn't much character development and character arcs, especially Harley Quinn. She was criminally underdeveloped, criminally underused, and she's in it a lot, but she doesn't get much of an arc. She doesn't get development. As a matter of fact, by the end of it, I was like, what was even the point of having her other than to slap her on posters and in trailers? So you're like, oh, Harley Quinn's in this. Let me go see it. Hardly felt like Harley Quinn. Yes, she was a big fan of Joker, so some stuff that shines through. And yeah, Joker himself in this is a different interpretation from what we know. But at the same time, it's like, this could have just been any fan. I thought Lady Gaga was good, and she has an amazing voice. She just didn't have much to do here. I don't think she's even going to be close to getting an Oscar nomination. I am a fan of Lady Gaga, by the way. I've liked her performances and other stuff, but she's good here, but she's nothing memorable. Most of this movie is not memorable to me. I didn't find it impactful. The first one has a lot of impact, emotional impact. It really sticks with you. It's shocking. This one isn't shocking. I wasn't shocked like I was when Murray got shot on live television. That looked so real. My jaw was on the ground. Yes, there is something that's technically bigger, literally bigger, I guess. It wasn't as impactful, and I didn't care much. Someone just shooting someone point blank, stabbing someone, banging their head against the wall, shooting someone on live television. There's just something just so much more personal and grimy feeling than what big thing happens in this movie. I was bored throughout a lot of the runtime. The pacing is off. The tone is weird, especially if you compare it to the first one, because it's a musical in this, and it didn't need to be a musical. It shouldn't have been a musical. And then that's another thing, actually. If you were gonna go the musical route, then go for it. Even the numbers that we actually got, I didn't find them as sweeping and grand as old Hollywood or like stuff like La La Land, which I don't even love La La Land. I didn't find them that effective. I didn't find them that impressive, to be honest. Yes, it looked good. They sounded good. I just feel like Todd Phillips should have brought on someone that knows how to direct musicals better. He doesn't really have that in his wheelhouse. The musical numbers could have used work. If you were going to go the musical route, they should have just really worked on those and made them fantastic. But I felt like all of them, whether they're just singing to each other, at each other, or whether it is supposed to be a big sweepy number, I felt them underwhelming. Like, I've been listening to Lady Gaga's album, Harley Quinn. I actually really like her album. It's a lot of what the songs are that are in this or inspired by this. They're studio recordings. I'm actually liking that a lot. This film, I don't care to listen to any of the actual musical numbers. The soundtrack, I just have been enjoying that much more than this, than anything in here. I think the script overall is a mess. They have all these themes and messages and ideas they wanted to do, and they just blended them together, and they didn't really focus too deeply on one. I didn't feel this one had an impact pretty much. I definitely like a few scenes. I even liked a couple of the musical scenes. The ending is definitely going to be divisive. I liked parts of the ending. I'm not going to get into it here. Overall, it's a bad movie to me. And that's my opinion. Film is subjective, so I'm happy for you if you liked it. And I hope you do like it. But this is one that was just a huge letdown. Very disappointed in it. I found it boring, the pacing off. They were focusing on too many ideas, too many messages and themes, and they didn't get deep and impactful with any of them. I think that it should have stayed a one and done like it was supposed to at first. My 40X reviews will be out soon. Just movie aside, I thought it was odd that they were doing this in 40X. Before I even saw the movie, there's vehicle stuff, not much. There's some like violence and obviously the musical aspect of it with the singing and dancing. I can't imagine that I'm going to recommend this in 40X. Maybe it'll surprise me. But definitely keep an eye out though for my 40X reviews. But what would I give Joker Folie Deux? Joker Folie Deux gets a 5 out of 10 from me. That's a 5 out of 10 for Joker Folie Deux. But let me know down in the comment section, what did you think of Joker Folie Deux? If they have spoilers in them, definitely mark them. If you liked what you've seen here and you want to see some more content from me, please click around here to see some other content from me. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video with the movie fans in your life, hit that notification bell, subscribe, make me your 40X guy, and come to the upside down.